Oh, look at this. It's the big show. Welcome in. Jason, it's me. You know me, Hafeman Bros number 2. Viking Moe, Ben, Raider Rick, Nicko. All in the house. All in the house. This house. Mysterious house. We're not going to tell you where we're at. All right.
I don't even know where we are.
What? Hey, and I told you guys, this is JJ Redick style. Everyone's got their own microphone. Everyone's got their own microphone doing their own thing.
Are we all seen?
Yeah, you're all seen. You're seen as much as the people want to see
We're all
you.
seen and heard.
I'm not in front of the camera. Well, you just wait. I'll give him a little booty shake. If that's what brings the people to the show, that's what we got to do.
The wrong kind of likes and retweets, I think.
Well, you just don't know what you never know what the masses will like. So that's what we got to do. All right, I got to hop behind the screen here to monitor chat from time to time, but we have some things to say. First off, it's important. We have to represent something in the Packer household, Packer related. Let's just put this right here.
Why? It's touching me. Why?
My Viking Moe. It's very nice to have the G right next to Viking Moe. So,
Don't you feel smarter now?
It's like a soothing ball. I feel kind of like a bad wide receiver.
Wow.
Oh,
That would make sense. You were bad.
I have one thing for tonight. And it's going to be about great players on your team. So we got Rick's team, we got Mo's team, we got our team. I know there's something else Ben had for tonight. Did you have something?
Yes, I have one stat, Nicko stat of the night.
Nicko stat. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And Nicko has at least one good, funny quip, right? Did you throw it? Okay, perfect.
I have a top 10 list.
Oh, and Mo's got a top 10.
If we have time.
Well, we'll make that. We'll just make it all.
It'll be fast.
We'll speed it along.
Top
So,
10's Darius Smith.
all right.
Plays.
Are we holding the trophy presentation? Mo's in waiting.
We're doing it right now?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can he handle? Will it distract you to have the trophy?
No, I think now it'd be good. I could sit it right here,
No.
right in front of this Packer thing here. Put it right there so everyone can see
Then
that.
I'll make you wear that shirt, and that's a medium, so it's not going to look good. It won't look good on this guy, a medium. Trust me. Okay. So, all right.
Okay, I'll get it.
You're going to get the trophy. Ben's going to get the trophy.
Yep.
All right.
Somebody talk.
Okay, be careful.
All right, it's trophy time coming up. There's one thing I want you guys to think about on your teams, just to prep for this other part that I have, who are great players currently on your 2022 rosters that you're expecting or know of.
You can pass if you want one.
There you go.
Uncalled for.
We knew we could get Nicko in there. This is the trophy that Viking Moe has waited for 2 years to get his name on.
The only thing,
You have to present it twice.
the only thing good about
Back-to-back
is
championships.
the name of the team.
Name your team is great.
No! That's such a mean name. Why are you so mean?
Well,
Better than Ekis. Why do you have to compare yourself to another?
so it's a spin-off of the band, Better Than Ezra.
Oh, I didn't
Okay,
get that.
and
I didn't
then-
get that.
And then Better Than Ekis.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Now it's less
Plus,
mean.
the biggest thing, the reason I kept it is because Ben said, you have a great team name. I wish I.
That's like the best team name.
That's what he says. That's the best team name I've ever heard. I'm like, well, I got to keep it now.
I've always loved that. So congratulations, Mo.
Thank you.
is-
Times 2. Wow.
2
That's
years
nice.
in a row.
The first name's on here. I feel honored.
And it's heavy too.
It is. It's got some weight.
That's totally legit. So for the viewers that don't know, Viking Moe has been in our Hafeman Fantasy Football League, not the Hafeman Bros Fantasy Football League that we started last year, the one that we've had for a very long time. Again, we've told stories how Ben cheated the very first year.
Yeah.
Nick, what did he do the first year? Tell everybody again, just to remind.
Because that was before we used the internet to do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I didn't
Yeah.
cheat the score. I didn't cheat the stats.
You didn't cheat the stats, but the free agent waiver wire was whoever told you they wanted a player first.
So I told myself.
And you told yourself that you wanted Kurt Warner first.
And he had 2 teams,
I had 2
remember?
teams and I traded all my
Because
good
we only
guys,
had
too.
7 players.
But he was going to start that season with Vinny Testaverde. as
I
our
was.
starting
We got
quarterback.
hurt week 1.
Oh,
I had you the
And then he got
quarterback.
hurt week 1. And then there was this guy that was
Terrible.
not supposed to start for the Rams that nobody ever heard of.
Yeah.
Because that was the year Trent Green was supposed to start, and he got hurt in the preseason. So nobody took Kurt Warner.
He was there.
And then Testaverde got hurt. And then the next, after week 1, everybody's like, I want to get Kurt Warner. I was like, nope, I already got him.
And he won the MVP,
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP.
What do you
and
mean you
won
got
the-
him? Like, well, I told myself I wanted him before I told you that I wanted him. Because that's what you did to buy the newspaper.
Hey, it was the first year. I had to buy the newspaper. That was the other thing. I had to buy the newspaper every week.
That was a serious subscription to
And I had
the
to go
Eau
through
Claire
every- that
Leader
was back
Telegram.
before-
Was it the Leader Telegram?
I don't know what it was. Yeah,
Oh, all right, never mind. You
You know, this might be the only way Eckes gets his name on this trophy.
No,
Oh.
poor Eckes.
It was one once, I think.
Eckes hasn't been watching for a while. He's been fishing in Canada and
Oh,
other
okay.
things, so maybe he'll catch that. Maybe he'll catch it.
Well, if not, I'll repeat it.
Okay, sounds
Make
sounds
one of
good.
the short clips and just send it to him.
The other thing, right, and the other thing, Ben had 2 teams, so he traded. There were no trade rules, so he traded his good players all into
Yeah.
one team.
So I had the best team in the league and the worst team in the league.
Yeah, so he won. One of his teams won.
Hey, that's why I couldn't be commissioner anymore. That's why you took over. I cheat. It's not a surprise.
And then you recruited me so that I'd have the worst team in the league.
No, but
That's true.
there was one
Because
time we
bad
had
luck.
16 guys in the league.
Yeah,
That was nuts.
that was
We had all the
pretty
guys
crazy.
from the TV station.
Yeah,
Oh,
Plus
the
the
TV
regular
station.
guys.
There's junkers on the team.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
I drafted
And-
Fred
and-
Taylor and he got hurt and like ended his career.
Dusty.
there.
Dusty. Was it Dusty or Rusty? I can't remember. The weather wasn't he the weather guy? Dusty.
yeah, Rusty Dawkins.
Rusty
Dawkins. Rusty Dawkins.
You thought it was Dusty
I couldn't remember if it was
Rockins.
Dusty or Rusty.
No,
yeah.
you did. You thought it was Dusty Rockins, but
Maybe-
it was
maybe.
Rusty Dawkins. Yeah, we
And Mo
Yeah.
dated that one chick. Always
That's
with a
right.
high heel.
Jennifer Rupp now.
Yeah, Jennifer up now.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
there, it's Mo's ex-girlfriends is a short list. We can get through it
I
quick.
tutored her in
But
calculus
uh,
before. Anyway.
okay, well, fair enough. Point is, the Haven Fantasy Football League is advanced. We have trophies now. The one that's been around for a long time. Viking Moe,
Thanks. Hey, for parents.
a Viking, Minnesota guy in a Packer-driven league, won it the last 2 years in a row.
Yes.
So that's got to change in 2022. Just like the Packers' fortune has to change, hopefully, that we might have a miracle thing and get to the Super Bowl. We'll see if that all happens. Anyway, all right. So I got the great players on your team. Do you want to go there? Or what was the thing you had, Mo? Did you want to go to
I
that?
have a top 10 list that's interesting, but I can go there first if you'd like. If they like.
All right. Well, since you have the trophy and you won, you
All
get
right.
the first mic. Go ahead and top 10 list. I'm gonna check the comments here real quick.
All right. So my top 10 list I found I thought was interesting and probably would relate to this show is I found a top 10 list according to Sports Savages that says the NFL's worst wide receiver cores. And they rank the top 10, one being the absolute worst, of course. So my question is, who thinks the Packers are on this list?
Everybody.
Okay, they're on the list. So where do you think they fall on the list in 1 through 10 of the 10 worst?
Given that you're relishing this, I would have to say number one.
I'll say 4.
I thought it was like 3.
No, they're not even in the top 5.
Wow.
They're 7th on this list.
Wow. Well,
7.
who's worse? Who do they have worse?
Let's say, okay, I'll give you the top 4 in no particular order. You guys can guess.
Okay.
The top 4 are Atlanta Falcons, Indianapolis Colts, Chicago Bears, and Houston Texans.
How can the Bears possibly be in that list with their free agent signings?
They got Mooney. He's
They
good.
have Mooney, Byron Pringle, sorry, and then St. Brown.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad after Mooney, anyway.
Yeah, you're right. That's worse than the Packers.
Oh, come on.
about-
Texans have Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, and Chris Conley.
Chris Conley's good.
Colts have Michael Pittman Jr., Paris
He's
Campbell,
good. He's good.
and Ashton Delin.
And Alec Pierce, they
He's
just
a-
drafted.
No, they
Ooh,
didn't mention
yeah.
him here.
Yeah, they're dumb. The Colts
And
should not be that low. They should be higher.
The
up.
Falcons, remember,
They took Drake London.
Ridley's out, so
Oh, is he out?
they have Zacchaeus, Bird, and Hodge,
And Drake London.
who they just drafted. But
And
that
Kyle
this,
Pitts, but I guess they're not counting tight ends.
maybe not. Nope.
Mm.
Wide receivers.
Colts have a better receiver core than the Packers. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
Whew.
All 4 of those are worse according to this list.
No,
Packers
Mo
are
is not a
7.
believer in Alan Lazard, he says.
I'm not either
Okay, continue on to your list.
until he can prove something to us all.
So who's number one?
Based on that,
Who's
Yeah.
number one on the worst?
gotta be the
Yeah.
Falcons.
The worst?
Falcons is the worst.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they don't even mention the rookies. How old is this?
It's not that old.
Okay, like there's no
Rookies
mention of
don't do
any-
anything. They're rookies.
Yeah,
Is this
so
a list-
Jamar Chase? He doesn't do anything.
Who's the creator of this list, Mo? You got it?
Sports Savages, I mentioned.
Yeah, or
it.
Jefferson.
Sports
doesn't do
Savages?
anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's is that the organization your brother and you founded online?
No.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, the Packers would be number one
Oh.
on that list.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Come on.
Okay. Fair
We
enough.
talked about this a little bit. Sammy Watkins has not done anything in forever. Lazard is okay.
But Sammy Watkins is
But he's
is
just a
an
guy.
honest soul. He's an honest man.
Well, I can appreciate that.
yeah.
I can
I mean,
appreciate
I
that.
loved it what he said. Ben did you love it, Nick? Did you relate to it?
I have no idea what he said.
All right, Sammy Watkins. We'll go back in time. When he was at OTAs, he was interviewed by his locker, and they were asking him some questions, and he said, "Yeah, I was just lying around on the couch getting fat, and then then my agent called me and was like, well, Green Bay is interested or something like that." And then what did he say, Ben?
He said, "Do I have to go today?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, you got to get there today." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
But then he said he's been working out since, and he's getting back to his playing weight that he wants to be at and stuff like that. So anyway, that's your update. If you didn't know that, Sammy Watkins said that to the reporters. He was honest, vulnerable, transparent moment. I thought it was great.
He thought he was done with football.
Yeah, he thought everybody's writing him off. Nobody
And
wants
the
him. I'm
Packers were
done.
like, "Here, have some money," and he was like, "Okay, I'll take some money."
I think that you love it anytime somebody says that they're fat. So if he wouldn't have said that he's fat, you wouldn't have cared about that statement at all.
Well, I would have loved if Eddie Lacy would have said he was.
Speaking
fat.
of, is that really Eddie Lacy on that picture?
No, it's not Eddie
Oh.
Lacy.
There's a picture floating around.
I know
That's like,
that's enhanced. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, man. It looks
That's
pretty bad.
So Sammy Watkins, that's your wide receiver one? Or are you saying Lazard's going
Alan
to be?
Lazard
Lazard
is
is-
wide receiver one.
You don't think there's a
According
problem
to-
with Lazard being wide receiver one?
According to the head cheese of the Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, he's in charge of everything.
Alan Lazard is number one, wide receiver one. Just like when he was at Iowa State back in the day.
And Samari Toure is apparently got some skills.
He got some skills. Toure. We
Well,
got
Aaron Rodgers doesn't know his name. He just calls him that 7th round pick. Because he hasn't been there. He doesn't know. He only was in there for like 2 days. They
You
practiced.
mentioned
one day,
Randall Cobb, who's
Randall Cobb.
Well, yeah, he
that
knows
was
his
because
name.
Randall
he's
Cobb.
washed up. He's washed up. He's done.
He's not done.
He is washed. Oh, come on.
Says the guy whose team signs Zedarius.
Sedaris isn't. too
Zarius
old.
has physical.
That's a different
tools to-
position. We're talking about
he
wide
just has to try
receivers.
it. Okay, wide receivers. All right.
All right. And besides,
Well-
know, these guys don't have to catch. You've seen necessary roughness. Rodgers can just throw it, sticks in their face mask. It still counts.
Is that the one with Scott Bakula?
I don't think so.
Is it?
Is it?
I think so.
Bacula is in that one?
Sinbad.
I was surprised you didn't go with Kathy.
I was going to say Kathy Ireland's the kicker. I remember that.
I forgot that. I forgot Kathy Ireland was in that.
All right. Well, you were always a big Scott Bakula fan from
Yeah,
Quantum
Quantum
Leap.
Leap's
So,
like-
yeah.
Quantum Leap's awesome.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
show.
I mean, ever since then Scott Bakula has won the hearts and minds of Hafeman Bros and friends alike.
Well,
Okay,
let's
so-
just wait until the Packers receiving core makes the quantum leap from the bottom
Oh.
7 to top 7.
Nice. Very nice, Rick.
Okay, so
And Alan Lazard.
maybe they
Pro
keep
Bowlers.
drafting receivers high in the draft. That'll happen in a few years.
Yeah,
Sure. That could be bad.
Wow. Yeah. Kool-Aid.
Okay, let's get to this here. I want to ask you guys about great players. Hopefully, you've had some time to think about it.
I
Now,
don't know quite what that question was.
I'm going back to a list created by one Andruzzi Hermano, who said he was talking about Packers who can achieve greatness in 2022.
Oh,
And during that time, as he was setting this up, he named a list of Packers that are great players, already great. I emphasize already great. This list of players. We're gonna turn our attention to that, but before we get to that, I have to first talk about the players he mentioned. 4 players that could be good to great in 2022. One, AJ Dillon. And AJ Dillon's been getting some buzz. Maybe he's supposed to be the lead back this year, Ben. He should get more time on the field than Aaron Jones, people are saying. I don't know what you think
I
about
think
that.
they should just be on the field more together.
Well, that's what they're talking
And
about.
then they can use AJ Dillon. Maybe he gets more carries, but at least Aaron Jones has a presence on the field, which takes away guys and lets AJ Dillon have a little more room to roam. Like if they're moving Aaron Jones in motion and, that pulls a linebacker out of the box, hey, AJ Dillon runs over some dudes. Like, why do we not see those guys in the field at the same time? It never happened last year.
Mystery.
It was dumb.
Yeah, mystery.
Dumb.
Yeah, like think back to the Niners when they had Barnon Floyd as their fullback, right? I mean, they had two guys, one big, one smaller, but they utilized both of those guys, especially if the Packers receiving core maybe isn't top tier this year. Get those guys on the field. Get your best players on the field. Spread the ball around. If nothing else, it's going to help open up things downfield. So,
I went back and I watched, I don't know what it was. Something showed up today. It was the Seahawks game from last season where they didn't score any points. Packers had 3 points in like the third quarter. Like they weren't Aaron Rodgers sucked. Like all the highlights were AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, and they were on like Aaron Jones had 2 screen passes in a row. Rodgers was playing like crap. The receivers couldn't do anything. It was AJ Dillon running, and then AJ Dillon had a really good catch on a swing pass, and he went up the sideline for like 50 yards, like breaking tackles, running over dudes, like these little corners trying to tackle them. And like, hello, your 2 best guys are those guys. How about if we use them? I don't know.
Mo, do you support that, having both those guys in the field?
Well, he doesn't.
Well, I think it
Viking
would.
fan.
I think it would be smart. I mean, I was just asked Ben earlier today. I'm like, so did they ever put both of them on the field at the same time? And Ben's like, well, they should. That's what I want them to do. And I can't imitate Ben very well at all, but he got excited about the idea that he thinks that they should, and I would agree. I mean, why not get playmakers on the field? And unless I don't know, they can't block or something, or I don't know, they'd have to have some other functions because both of them can get the ball in the same play, but for the most part. But I think it would be a smart move.
According to Andy Herman, those 2 guys were in the top 5 of guys' yards after contact last year.
Yeah.
In the top 5 in running backs. So the Packers have 2 of the top 5 running backs in yards after contact.
Since we're talking about this now, this was my Nito stat of the night.
Oh, okay.
I was going to save it for later, but we're talking
I'm sorry.
about Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, so I might as well just go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry I didn't imitate you better. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to ask you guys a question. The Packers have, so PFF in their ratings last year, their rankings of running backs with over 100 carries. Okay. The Packers have a running back who's in the top 5 for PFF grade the whole NFL. So we're talking all like everybody from, the Colts guy. Well, I can't remember anybody's names.
Jonathan
Taylor, to Henry, to Cook,
Dalvin Cook,
Kamara, everybody under the sun you can think
Chubb.
of that everybody says is so great. Chubb, right, and the other guy from Cleveland, and Joe Mixon, and Bob, all these guys, right? Okay, top 5. First of all, which guy is it? And he's and
Dillon.
Where is he ranked?
1.
No. Okay, I'll give you a hint. What ranked at number 5? Who do you think is a Packer running back who had out of the top, the 5th best PFF grade of running backs with over 100 carries last season? Anybody?
Dillon.
I think it's Dillon.
I'll say Aaron Jones because you still love him.
Here's the thing. It's a trick question. It was Aaron Jones. He was number 5. You know why he was number 5?
Because Dillon was like a 1/10 of a point ahead of him.
AJ Dillon was number 3. Out of all the running backs in the NFL last year with over 100 carries, the Green Bay Packers had 2, not 1, 2 running backs in the top 5 of PFF grades. Yet because they have Aaron stupid ass Rodgers, they got to throw the ball all the time and ruin the crap and make freaking drives end. And it wasn't great blocking. That wasn't the grading. It was being able to make things happen even though the play sucked. Number 3 in PFF grade last year, AJ Dillon, of all running backs with 100 carries or more. Number 5, Aaron Jones. We have 2 of the top 5 running backs on our team. Yet all anybody talks about is Aaron Rodgers. He's got to do it by himself. He's so great. I just don't. I mean, he's just amazing. How does he only throw 4 interceptions? I'll tell you why. Because he never takes any damn chances. This crap needs to change. When you have the 2 of the top 5 running backs in the NFL, let's freaking use them. Okay, I'm done. But does that blow your mind? Doesn't that blow your mind?
I was surprised when I had heard that. I had heard that both of them were in the top 5. I couldn't remember which order they were in, but I think their scores were actually pretty close.
They were. It was like 88 something and 86 or somewhere like, I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that far off. It was like point something apart, but still.
It's pretty good. They should probably put them on the field at the same time.
They should be on. I mean, they're the 2 best players. They're better than Aaron Rodgers.
Let's ask Nicko a quick question. Nicko, did you get frustrated at times watching Packer games last year and the Packers are inside the 10, for example, and they throw 3 passes and then have to kick a field goal? Any frustration with 1st and goal and we don't even attempt to run even though we have these incredible running backs according to PFF and most people in the league?
So at no point last year they ran it on 1st and 10?
Not at no point, but there were plenty of times they didn't. And I don't think that running plays weren't called. I think there were alerts, and then the ball flicked out to Adams or somebody else or whatever. We did something, and then we didn't convert.
No, I remember being frustrated about
Didn't frustrate you that we didn't run the ball? Okay. Well, Ben gets frustrated when we don't run the ball. You guys got to know that. Ben
Okay, I had to say something.
Ben likes to run the ball.
I'm sorry. But you're 13-3 and you're frustrated. You don't understand what frustrated feels like. And you don't understand the opposite problem when you run the ball on 1st and 2nd down, even though everyone knows you're doing it. And then you pray on 3rd down with the pass that your quarterback doesn't get destroyed because your offensive line's not that good. That's frustration, not running the ball. Like running the ball all the time when you have a high-powered offense with 2 Pro Bowl receivers and then you don't pass. That's frustration. And then not making the playoffs, also frustration. I get that you didn't make Super Bowl and that's, it stinks. I know it doesn't feel good, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's a different level of, there needs some perspective here.
Going on 12 years, Mo.
Yeah. Should they run more? Yeah, they should.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll move on from this. I'm just going to get through these other players that were good to great. Good to great. John Runyon Jr., I didn't see a lot of good there last year, so I don't know how you can go from good to great when you weren't even good, as I went back and looked more closely at the tape, because there was a lot of people who thought Runyon Jr. was the best Packer offensive lineman all last season. That is incorrect. Go back and watch how many plays he just fumbles on his face and gets his butt whooped or misses a block completely or does nothing. That's not true. So you can't go from good to great when you're not even good. Eric Stokes, you know how I feel about Stokes. Not stoked about him, but whatever.
Really
I don't think
Stokes.
he can go to great. I do not think he can go to great. And I don't even think he was good last year either. And then the other one, Rasul Douglas. How do you go?
He's already great.
Exactly. What the hell kind of list is this? You're already great. 2 guys that aren't even good can't go from good to great. And 1 guy who's already great. And the quote, could be better, can get to great. He was already there. Did you watch the games last year? Andy Herman.
Could play 17 games.
Your veins are popping out in your neck a little bit.
Okay, that's all I had to say. Let's get to the great players. Nicko, if you had to name some great players on the Packers, who do you have?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that's one.
You know what? He's a great player.
He's a great player.
He is.
100%.
I hate him, but he's a great player.
Great player. And we need more. There's apparently 1, 2. There's 9. There are 9 great players on the Pack. Great.
That's a lot of
already
great players.
on the Packers. Keep going.
Aaron Jones.
Yes. Aaron Jones.
Are they counting Bakhtiari?
They're counting guys who are injured. Sure.
Well, I'll say Bakhtiari.
Bakhtiari, great at chugging beers at Bucs games. We know that. Hopefully, still good at football. Continue on. Well, I want Nicko to. You guys can help out.
Jair Alexander.
Yep, he's on there.
I don't know
Anybody
if
can
he's
help
great.
out.
He's good.
Rick, you want to help out?
If you're counting hurt guys, it's got to be Jenkins because he's
Jenkins, great. Exactly. Keep going. This is not my list
He's
of
good.
Packers.
mean,
I
the-
would say are great.
The Packers are like the Rolls Royce of offensive lines, right? Wait, I don't think Royce would make it great.
By the way, Yash is better than both those guys, just so you know, coming in. Okay,
Okay,
continue
calm
on.
down over there. I don't,
All right, who else is great? Who else is great already? There's more. Ben, come on, you can throw in one.
Rashawn.
Rasul Douglas is great.
Well, they
already.
must be counting Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark, you got it.
Ugh,
Great.
He's great.
not even good.
He's good. He's good.
Okay,
He's above average.
He's good.
He's
Good.
above average.
He's good.
Have you ever watched him?
Yes. He
He's
just
slower than.
He destroys Garrett Bradbury every play.
Okay, and then what happens after he destroys him? That's right. Nothing happens. Yes, he's great within 1 yard of himself. And then after that, he's useless. So unless the running back happens to run right by him, he doesn't make the play. He's too slow.
Is that all?
He's strong and
That's
great.
not all of them. You still got three more.
Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary is already great.
Already
He had
great.
one good year. That was-
He's
Wow.
great. Jenkins already great. Okay, I'll recap the list. We got 2 more. They're both defensive guys.
Devondre.
Devondre Campbell, great.
He's good.
And 1 more. He is probably good, but I wouldn't use the other
I'm
2.
sure it's
Former
Adrian
Gopher.
Amos. But
Adrian
he's,
Amos, great.
He's good. He's not great.
So
He's solid good.
And
We really
Drewsy
have like 4 guys who are great.
and Drewsy Hermano says Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari. I almost said Cullen Jenkins. Actually, he was pretty damn good. Elton Jenkins, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devondre Campbell, Jair Alexander, and Adrian Amos, all great players. If you had how many players on the field between offense and defense?
22.
Thank you, Nick. So out of 22, the Packers have 9 great players that are on the field all the time. That is, well, I mean, a couple of them are injured. Okay, fine. But 9 great players.
I think they had like 4 on the field at any one time.
That's amazing, right? I mean, guys. And then, okay.
But they were
So
13 and 3 or whatever.
So they're great.
There's 17
Anyway,
games last season.
I would, so if you want me to, here, okay.
lot of
I would,
games.
Gary, not great yet. Kenny Clark, definitely not great. Hasn't been, is not great. Campbell's good, not great. Jair's borderline getting there. Amos is good, not great. Jenkins, good, not great. So to me, it's really like 4, 3.5 ish great players in the Packers, but whatever.
And I have to be honest, I don't know if Aaron Jones is great.
Is he? Yeah. I mean, true.
I think
he
he's
is.
very good,
I think he is.
but I don't think he's great.
He's ranked 5 in PFF. I mean,
Well, AJ Dillon's ranked higher.
Well, then, and why
Where's-
is
why
he
is-
good on this list?
is he on the good to great?
Yeah, he's on.
He's on the good to great.
Okay.
I think Jones has he could be or should be. But
Well-
if this list is counting guys that it doesn't matter what you've done for me in the last season or 2, then sure, count Jones because a couple of years ago he was great.
Well, he got opportunities.
Fair enough. Yeah. And
He got
opportunities in the red
opportunities
zone.
In the red zone, like how many?
To
He
score
had a bunch
touchdowns.
of like 12. Well, they were 12-yard runs too. That's the thing.
Right.
And there are holes that were there for him to get through. Nowadays, the holes aren't there, so he can't get the initial 3 yards and then make guys miss and then get the 12-yard run. Now he gets a 1 yard, 2 yard run, or he has to bounce to the outside and sneak around for like a 6 yard carry. Where 2 years earlier, when they had Corey Linsley there, who's not great, but he was good enough to like know what he's supposed to be doing. You know, and then they had Runyon Bunyan playing the other guard, and Jenkins in there, and Bakhtiari just running straight, not blocking anybody, run real fast. Then they had, you know, good, at least good movement, except for Billy Turner stunk.
Yeah.
But he was deceptively like in the way sometimes.
Well, you guys have talked about it too. They're not paying attention and calling the right plays for the right personnel on the field.
Right.
The thing that I would say is like, I mean, it depends what your definition of great player is. Why is it that AJ Dillon, who had a breakout year last year, it was very good. I would say he would have the equivalent of what Rashawn Gary's season was last year.
Right.
I mean, I think it's the offensive equivalent of what Gary's defensive play was. It was above average, great at times. Sometimes it wasn't perfect, and sometimes it was a little off. But for the majority of it, it was a very good play for the whole year. So why does Rashawn Gary get to be a great player where AJ Dillon is only a good to great player.
Number 12 pick, I guess. Is it the Packer like?
Right, he was a first round pick in his fourth season. This guy's a second round pick in his third season. I don't know.
Okay, a quick follow up and then we'll move on. Honorable mentions in this by this person's good to great list. This is not honorable mention for great players. It's honorable mention for good to great players that didn't make the list. Preston Smith.
He's good.
Mason Crosby. Okay, whatever.
He's not even good. I mean, sorry, Mike.
Darnell Savage.
Darnell Savage is wishy-washy.
Josh Myers. Like, come on, man.
Are you kidding me?
And Alan Lazard. So
Alan Lazard?
Is this ranked on Madden appearances?
I don't know what this is.
This is kind of crazy. And there was an honorable mention for great players if you were just talking about blocking. Mercedes Lewis.
He's like another tackle out there.
So here's the question: why don't they put another tackle out there? If they're not going to let Yash start,
No kidding.
just let Yash be tackle eligible. Put an actual tackle out there because he probably will run faster and probably get as many balls thrown his way as Mercedes does in a typical year.
That's a good point.
Put
Rick.
Bakhtiari out there. He could run faster than him.
That's true.
He's proven it on that one run, Aaron Jones run.
I mean, in all seriousness, I was excited when Big Dog got the ball that one time, but how many times does Rodgers look at him as an actual target and try to throw the ball his way? How many receptions did he have last year? I was going to check before.
I didn't. It was probably like 10.
He's
12.
got to be like the fourth or fifth read every play, right?
I think it's probably I'm going to call this play
Well,
for
not
you ahead.
if they're on the 1 yard line, sometimes you'll want to just throw him a touchdown, even though there's one play where Rodgers should have been sacked. Like two guys went straight at him. Somehow he avoided him enough and then got the ball
Because he got skills. He's a great player.
Yeah.
But
there should have been, and it should have been just a run up the gut for a touchdown because there was a huge hole, but he decided to not do that. He decided to change the play to a sneak attack run or sneak attack pass to
Big Dog, the touchdown.
Big Dog, just to give a touchdown.
Goody likes him in there for touchdowns so that it pads the number of touchdowns Rodgers has thrown to a first round pick.
They're gonna get no more this year.
It's up to
I
like 2
apologize.
Sammy Watkins.
He had 23 receptions for 214 yards and a long of 23 yards.
Last year, right?
23.
Last year.
Wow, that's like 1.3.
That's what I would say more is
That's
he
what they
is a
call you.
detriment to the development of guys like Robert Tunyon and Big Nose, your guy.
Yeah, Tyler Davis. Watch out for him this year. And also
it-
DeGuara.
And Iguara.
After hearing, couple of other shows that I've heard recently, not your shows, but I won't name them,
What
talking
you got,
about
Nick?
the position battles and how they got.
You watch
These guys
it,
are
Rick?
on every day.
Rick watches other. I know he's a loyal viewer to us, but he's also
it's just
he also watches
comparison.
other
You
shows.
got to have
Yeah.
something to measure these guys against to really
That's
appreciate
true.
how good
That's-
the show is.
that's
Yeah,
true.
our show is the best.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
mean,
have the best knowledge.
If you wanted to
But
make
the
a
show-
list
the
of
show.
great Packer shows, we're on it. Anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead, Rick.
Oh, but anyway, there's a lot of talk of positional battles. Like you're saying, you got, who do you keep from the tight ends? I just really have a hard time justifying spending a slot on Mercedes because he's such a good blocker.
The sad
Right.
part is it's also the same. I would say the same about Randall Cobb.
And
There's no reason for Randall Cobb to be on the team.
He's number 2.
He's
He's the
done.
number
There's
2
no
wideout.
reason
He's
for-
done.
Rick,
You have
the
Amari
other,
Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's the same guy.
the other thing you're pointing out, Rick, is tight ends need to help you on special teams. Big Dog does not help you on special teams.
that's what I mean. I think
He's
they have
useless.
too many
He's
question
useless.
marks and too much inexperience on the roster this year to be able to give a gift position to Big Dog. Okay, if you want to keep him on the team so he gets the ring, if you guys go all the way and win it, keep him on the practice squad, whatever.
Hire him as a tight ends
whatever.
coach. I'm sure he knows more than freaking whoever the guy they hired this year after the guy went to be offensive coordinator for Denver Broncos.
But talking about, especially with Tunyon coming back and not knowing how soon he's going to be back, or at least how soon he's going to return to full form, is he probably your best all-around tight end, if you will? But the other guys seem to be situational. So really, is Big Dog such a good blocker that you really need to burn a tight end spot on him and risk losing one of these younger
That's
guys?
all anybody says about him.
Especially when you check out of runs and to passes as often as you do. I don't know.
How good is his
you,
blocking then?
you lose the effect. Anyway, just some interesting things we had to dispute and speak a little truth to. That's what I wanted to get off my chest. Okay.
I got a question.
Yep.
Why in the world do like Devontae Adams gets talked about like he's a great receiver,
Great.
greatest receiver of all time, and all this crap?
We're going there already.
But
Sorry, Rick.
well, I'm sorry, but nobody talks about Justin Jefferson hardly.
This is what I want to ask you guys now.
Why is that, Mo?
You're
Even Viking Moe, like the other day, we were like, do you consider
Who are your great
did
players?
the Vikings ever say like Justin Jefferson's one of the best receivers in the league? And you're like, oh, they don't really talk
He's pretty
about him that
good.
much. And we got Thielen and blah 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 flute, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure Justin Jefferson's pretty good. And I said he was going to suck. I didn't
Yeah,
want
you
the
did.
Packers to draft him.
Yeah, you did.
Viking Mo, how many great players in your estimation on your team?
How many great ones?
Yeah, Packers
On
have
this
9.
list? Do you have a list?
Packers have 9.
Do you
No,
know?
I didn't make a list. I don't. My list.
This was just a list for the Packers.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
Packer list.
Oh,
My list. Oh yeah, that's right. I made one for the Vikings. Yeah, it's there at the bottom. Anyway, never mind. What? Not. How many Packers have 9 great players? Viking Mo. How many great players in the Vikings? And Rick, we're coming to you next for Raiders. Great players in your definition of great.
man, great's kind of different, and like, I'm just gonna. So even when you think about Justin Jefferson, he's only played 2 seasons, right? Can you say he's great already?
Yes.
Like I mean,
Rashawn Gary's only really started 1 season. He's
So,
all,
okay,
he's
well,
Jamar
already
Chase is
great.
great.
if we're basing it off that list, then I had to include him. So, and I think so. Okay, the number I would probably say.
Well, just name them. Name the players.
Okay, so Justin Jefferson, I would mention.
Okay, all right.
Most receiving yards in NFL history, the first 2 NFL seasons. Jamar Chase might break that, this year too. And that's in a run-heavy offense, I might mention. So I'm pretty excited about opening things up a little bit. So, and I got to mention Adam Thielen.
Great player.
Yes, I mean
Wow,
a lot of great receivers there. But you think about
Nico, are you taking notes over there?
kind of where he came from, and he still catches
He's Googling some of
double-digit
these guys.
touchdowns. So I think Dalvin Cook is there for running backs right now. So, and I'm going to mention Brian O'Neill. So he's the right tackle for the Minnesota Vikings.
I watched some tape on him. He did not make my top 10
Okay.
offensive lineman. Go
Well,
ahead.
he didn't give up a sack until his 3rd season in the year of his career, and I think that maybe I think he's great based on everyone else on the line that they have. This could be
That's true. Did he not give up a sack just because his guy was the last one to get to the quarterback?
Yeah, maybe. Well, valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point. I think he went a couple of seasons already without any penalties at all either. So I mean, I don't know.
Impressive. That's kind of like not throwing interceptions. It's impressive.
Right. I mean, maybe you don't hear about him, but I mean that's usually a good thing, right, for offensive linemen. But he
Rick,
plays.
you can. Or I'm sorry, Viking Mo. You can include your recent acquisitions too, if you. I mean, if you want to go there, that's
Well, I'm sure Zadarius Smith would make that guy's list. Just because he used to be a Packer. Apparently, he's great. So
2-time Pro Bowler.
right. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
25 sacks.
The thing
in,
is,
2 years.
I want to say someone like Daniil Hunter. He's just been so hurt the last 2 seasons, hasn't played. But when he has played, he's always been a double-digit sack guy.
This list is it's kind of comparable now to this list
Right.
that we gave. Okay, so we're up to like what are we 5 or 6 here?
That's so. There was
I think I
I
lost
had
count.
4 on offense.
Okay, okay.
I got
wish
one
they would
on
change the
defense
wording
already.
to like a Pro Bowl player or something.
Well, great
Pro
is
Bowl's
very
kinda
arbitrary.
iffy,
Yeah.
though. Pro Bowl doesn't mean as much as it used to because so many guys
Yeah, I know,
don't
but
go and
still.
all that, and then the guys get the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue on, Mo.
So I got 4 on offense there, and then defense. I'm going to say Daniil Hunter because I think he is great when he's healthy, and I'm going to say Eric Kendricks because no one says Eric Kendricks.
Wow.
People don't understand. Like he leads the team in tackles every year. He led the all linebackers in interceptions a couple of years now. The guy can cover. He can cover.
That's awesome. I love this.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
You're just validating because 2 weeks ago when we did my top 10 offensive linemen, I showed Yash on running play destroying Eric Kendricks. So you just validating my top 10 offensive lineman, Yash Nijman from the Packers, being your great linebacker into the
Yeah.
ground. So anyway, continue on.
I'm not saying he's a great block shedder necessarily, but he's more of a coverage linebacker. But obviously, I think he's good at blitzing and some other things too. But so I really do think he's great. When I think about even any of the recent linebackers, especially the Vikings have had, he's definitely there. And then I would put Harrison Smith on the list too. He's been a safety for the Vikings his entire career, Pro Bowler multiple times, lots of interceptions, lots of touchdowns, lots of tackles. So I would say him as well.
So
And I'd probably stop there.
Okay, so lowering the level, the term of great, kind of lowering it more to like good to very good. is kind of what I feel like we've translated the word great into, then that's your player list, which I can see that. I can see
Just
most of
7
the
people.
Packers. Yeah, 7 people. Raider Rick, in your estimation, great players on the Raiders.
Well, I think at the moment, the elephant in the room wearing number 17. I think by many popular opinions, Mr. Adams would be a great receiver. I don't know if I'm ready to deem him the best receiver in the league. I'm a little concerned that his numbers aren't going to quite live up to the hype. But I think he's going to be a boost to the offense at least this year. That said, I think at least relative to other players at their position, Waller could be considered great.
Support that.
He's maybe not the prototypical tight end. Maybe a little bit of a undersized receiver, but there's no doubt that at least statistically he's up there with the great tight ends in the league in recent years. We'll see if his numbers continue now that there's going to be, a big mouth to feed at wide receiver. Defensively, Max Crosby is maybe on trajectory.
What? You bypassed Ben's guy who was number 2 in the league.
Number 2 quarterback in the NFL.
I'm working my way down.
Oh, okay. Well, you jumped to defense. I was like,
Hey.
what? Where are we going here?
Let him go.
Okay, I apologize.
Ranking
Crosby.
by greatness.
He's good.
Okay.
You're still wrong
Greatness.
because Derek Carr is number 1 on your whole team.
He's not great.
Not yet.
No.
Oh,
great.
he's not great. No, he's not.
So Crosby has
wrong with you?
really stepped it up. I mean, he's still early in his career, but the guy's still playing hard. Sets the edge. I think compared.
Rick's trying to give his list. Max Crosby, I like it very much. I would give you that nod too. Again, we're looking at great at their position, not
Yeah,
always flashy.
Hopefully maintains the playing hard and willing to set the edge on the runs too, and not just become a pass rushing specialist. I think that's what hurt them down the stretch last year. On a different note, holy crap, there's a giant spider crawling across the floor right now.
Where's it?
Right by your cords over there by the table. I think it's going to go eat Nicko.
Oh, that one is hungry.
Uh,
That one's hungry.
but
Use that list of great Packers to kill it.
get the Viking spot.
That's what this list deserves.
But I think last year we saw
Oh, big.
late in the season that
Ooh, crunch.
Ngakwe's ineffective pass rusher, but he just didn't. He played small. There was. Sorry, those of you who can't see what's going on with the camera.
Sorry, that spider was so huge we couldn't show it on the show.
Uh,
All right, continue on, Rick.
Who's sleeping out here?
Ngakwe moved on. They brought in Chandler Jones, who hasn't played it down in Las Vegas yet, but I think some people consider him to be one of the great edge rushers. I think leads the NFL in sacks since like the last 8 years or 10 years or whatever it is.
Your list is getting kind of long here. You better expect a lot from those Raiders this year.
It's only 3 guys. I'm just
Oh,
talking a
okay.
lot.
All right. Okay. All
I got
right.
interrupted by Aragog there running across your living room floor.
Shelob.
Yeah.
He was going the Harry Potter route. Go ahead, Rick. Go on. Continue.
I don't know Harry Potter.
Yeah, you
I
do.
have
You have
kids.
Harry Potter stuff all over your house. Your kid was like, he still wears a Harry Potter robe when he's in college.
Shelob, whoever.
Continue.
Giant
Rick.
freaking spider.
Yep.
And I think Derek Carr has the potential to be great. I would put him in the good, in part because, yes, he's modeled his game after the legendary Bart Favre.
Number 4. Yes.
And he's a gamer like number 4.
Gamer.
Come on.
He's entertaining to watch like number 4.
Entertaining.
Most comeback victories by any quarterback in the
like
last,
I've said
since
about
2000, whatever.
You could be
That's the
down by
worst
6
stat.
touchdowns with 4 minutes left, and Favre might bring you back, or he might throw 6 interceptions to just seal the deal for the other team. You just don't know. So I think if he could play more consistently, and hopefully not need to make as many comebacks, he could venture into great. But I'm not sure he's quite there yet. So I think he's good.
Thank you. All right. Nicko, was Brett Favre a great quarterback?
Yes.
Viking Moe, he played for your team too. Was he a great quarterback?
One of
pretty
the
dang good
years.
that 1 year, yeah.
One of the years he was.
I don't mean just on your team. Was he a great
Oh.
quarterback overall? Come on, Viking Moe. Yes or no? No qualifying answer.
I still want to say no.
I don't even like him.
He
I would
throws
say that.
way too many interceptions. And
Best quarterback in Vikings history. Brett Favre.
It's true.
no, it's not.
Who had a better year?
No, it's not.
Yeah, who had a better year than him ever?
A better year?
Than his 1 year.
Well,
he had.
Let's go back
Like
to
what,
Randall.
statistically?
Cunningham.
Well, Dante Culpepper did.
Culpepper.
Yeah, but that was because Randy had Randy Moss.
Yeah, he had Randy Moss and Chris Carter and Jake Reed.
Oh my
Chris
gosh.
Carter sucked.
You make
Wow.
the NFC Championship
3D. Yeah, we did.
with Culpepper.
With Culpepper, you did?
Yeah.
What happened? That
What
game?
We
happened?
lost
Yeah,
four,
what
was,
we lost
Randall?
41-0
Oh,
to
that,
the Giants. And Kerry Collins. But thanks for bringing that up.
I didn't remember that was that year.
Jerry
That's-
Collins put up a 41 burger on you.
They fumbled like the opening kickoff.
Wow.
Missed some field goals in there too, I guess.
I don't think so. I mean,
Come on,
Randy
man.
Moss dropped a touchdown pass. It was the first time I think they said
Wow.
in their professional and collegiate careers that Culpepper and Moss have ever been shut out.
So in the last 40 years, Kerry Collins 1 Super Bowl appearance and the Vikings 0.
Yikes.
Is this what the show is about right now?
Well, hey,
Is there a new
Nico,
topic?
it's your history.
Is
It's your Viking history. You can't run.
You asked me about Brett Favre. I think he's threw
You-
too many interceptions. He just throws way too many for me. I'm
You
sorry.
can't run from your past, but you do have the
But
trophy.
even Favre was in disbelief when he threw him.
Yeah,
he didn't know.
just couldn't believe
Yeah,
it
just
every
like
time.
when Sam Cassell missed a jump shot, right?
Yep, just couldn't believe it every time it happened.
At least
Right,
he
let's
himself
go.
couldn't believe that he missed a jump
He
shot.
won 3 league MVPs and is one of the 100 greatest players of all time.
No,
All right.
no, he's not.
So by that definition, Derek Carr is great.
He shared one of those MVPs with Barry Sanders, who had 2,000 yards rushing that year.
Derek Carr has won 0 MVPs as far as I know.
Derek Carr is good, but not great.
Derek Carr's still playing.
That's true. That is true.
Derek Carr is the number 2 quarterback according to Ben Hafeman's quarterback.
No,
rating.
Yeah,
good
take that,
lord.
Nico. Yep.
You can have him.
I will. I would gladly take him.
All right. Last note before we go: Baker Mayfield was traded this week.
Oh, he's so
Yes.
bad.
Reactions to Baker Mayfield.
He's not good.
He probably is as good as Derek Carr.
I would take him over Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
They're all the same guy.
No, I would. Okay.
No.
Now
I
that's Baker Mayfield is more like Brett Favre.
He can make plays at
And Derek
least.
Carr.
Run around a little bit.
Ugh.
Yeah. Viking Moe, reaction?
Well, I feel bad for Cleveland. Like, what
I
a
don't.
mess.
It's their
Oh,
own
they're
stupid
dumb.
fault.
I mean, they did it to themselves. I just feel
Yeah.
bad for like Cleveland fans. You know what I mean?
Fans, sure,
You
okay.
you actually are getting you have a pretty good team in the trenches, and then you screw it up so
They got a
early,
lot of
right?
good players.
And I met some actually Brown fans. They tailgated when the Browns played the Vikings last season, and really nice people, loyal fans. I just feel really bad for them because they've lost a starting quarterback, and they another one that's probably not going to play. They gave all these picks for. They're screwed. I don't think Baker Mayfield is good. I think he's not good. I think he's a borderline starter if you ask me. I think he's maybe a little better than Sam
Borderline
Darnold.
starter?
I think he's a borderline starter. I do not think he's good.
Starter.
He's
You're telling me he's barely a top 32 player at his position.
I do. I
You're
do.
an idiot.
No.
I've heard some.
Did you
dumb
see
shit
him
from
play
you.
at
That is
all
the dumbest
last
thing
year?
I've ever heard.
Did you see him play last year? He was horrible. Did you see him play against the Packers? I know you saw him play there.
Yeah,
He
he
play
got
against
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas.
He didn't get
Not his
Rasul
fault.
Douglas.
He
Yes,
went
it
up against
was.
a great player.
Oh gosh.
Who's better than him?
I've seen him play live. I saw him play live against the Vikings too. He just missed his passes. He's not good. He's not good.
He had a hurt shoulder.
You say he's not great.
People were looking at his statistics the year before and the statistics before how he played before the injury last year, and he was playing very well.
Do you watch?
So
You
just
put
a
him
heads
on
up.
Carolina team that does not have a stout offensive line like the Cleveland Browns, 2 stud running backs like the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see how well he does when he doesn't have a running game
We'll
or
see.
offensive line to protect him. Because
And
without that, he was trash anyway. I didn't think he was that good.
He's got Christian McCaffrey if he can stay healthy.
Right?
in 2 years, My
DJ
prediction
Moore
is-
is one of the best receivers in the league.
he'll be on the Packers in 2 years,
What?
taking over for when Love. They're done with Love. Rodgers is gone, and they got to get somebody.
Probably will be.
Baker will come in. and he'll be the next Brett
And
Favre.
then he'll
Since we're making fun of Minnesota and we have Nicko here.
Yeah.
Nicko,
If
what do you
he's
think of
so
that
good-
Timberwolves deal they made last week?
If Baker Mayfield is so good, why was Seattle not interested in him at all when they don't have any quarterback and they traded him to Carolina for a 5th-round pick? If he's so good, why was it
nobody
only a
wanted
5th-round
to
pick
take
to
that guy.
lure him away?
Because everybody knew Cleveland couldn't hang on to him.
Or
Yeah.
because everyone knows he's not good? That could be another reason.
Okay, maybe people didn't want to take a shot at him for the huge, giant,
Yeah.
fat contract.
Yeah.
And Carolina could
he's
get
not
Cleveland to
good.
eat half of it.
They already did eat half of it.
He's
That was
at
part
the
of it.
very
We'll
least-
eat half of it and the 5th-round pick.
Yeah,
that's what we're going
I
to do.
mean. But if Seattle couldn't negotiate that down, or
Carolina
was wanting
did,
them
I
to
mean-
take more,
If he's just as good as Derek Carr, you can get him for
I didn't
half
say
the
he's
price and
just
a
as good.
5th-round
Not as good as
pick.
Derek Carr's way better than Baker.
Oh, okay.
He is.
All right.
Okay.
Final basketball note. Nicko had what did you ask about the T-Wolves trade?
yeah,
Nicko?
What is
You
the
didn't
T-Wolves
follow?
trade?
trade like
Rudy
5 guys
Gobert.
and 4 or 5 picks for Rudy Gobert.
One of the great nicknames in all of basketball, though.
What's that?
The Stifle Tower.
Nice.
He's French and blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Does he block a lot of shots?
Yeah, he's a good
He's defensive
defense.
player of
He's
the
a-
year.
He's also
He's-
the guy who coughed a lot when he got COVID and rubbed it all over
He
the
was the guy.
microphones.
Well, he's French.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
he's a rim protector. Can actually score pretty well in there too. But
You traded 5 dudes and 5 picks, man?
He was
So-
defensive player of the year candidate several times. I got some fun stats.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Fun stats.
So we were talking about Aaron Rodgers passing it all the time.
Let's hear it.
He was 12th in attempts last year, tied with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
12th, not first. 12th.
Yeah,
I understand.
Below
That's because so many drives were stalled because of his terrible 3rd down passes. Okay, keep going.
man.
below Kirk Cousins on attempts last year, who Mo described as a run-heavy team.
Yeah.
They were.
Minnesota was 16th in rushing attempts per game. Green Bay is 18th in rushing attempts per game.
Like basically the same.
But that doesn't take into account the mix. If you have less plays, they were more run heavy in terms of percentage of play calls for runs and pass than any other team.
But Cousins passed it more than Rodgers did.
Guess
I'd-
they,
I'd
I
like
guess
to
they
see that.
sustained more drives. I don't know.
I'd like to see the total
Yeah.
play count on
Or you
that.
have bigger plays or whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to see the total play count on that. But
I'm saying the Packers don't pass it every time. That's what I'm saying.
no, that's true.
And I'm saying,
But a lot of times inside the 10, when they should run it or give it to one of the 2 top 5 running backs in the league, they pass it. Is what we're saying.
let's not fight over.
But it's fair enough.
Here's the thing that I've learned tonight.
Baker Mayfield sucks.
Mo knows nothing about
Oh.
quarterbacks. Saying he's borderline starter is
That is
saying
pretty-
he's
that is-
32.
That's pretty
Traded
low.
for a 5th-round pick and they're paying half his salary anyway.
No, but everybody knows that they didn't want him.
And he didn't want to be there.
He didn't want to be there. They screwed up. They
Oh,
traded for
everyone-
Wiener Boy.
everyone
I don't know if you
knew
know
that-
this, but Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick.
Everyone knew that Watson had to be traded. That he was going to play in the Texans, but they gave up a king's ransom for him.
That's because they're stupid. It's obvious the Browns are stupid.
And it's such a shame because, like you said, they built a really good team in
If
a
he
lot
was,
of ways.
if,
But
but if he
that
was
was toast.
good, there'd still be plenty of teams that need a quarterback that would have given more than the 5th round
What
pick.
teams? Tell me a team that needs a quarterback right now.
Seattle,
Okay, name.
but
another
they're
one.
not going to
Name
compete.
another one.
Carolina,
They got him. Name another one.
Minnesota.
doesn't.
No,
Well, doesn't Atlanta need one? Who did they get? I can't
No.
remember. They got a rookie, didn't they?
they drafted a guy.
Yeah, they still could
and
use a
they
veteran.
signed Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, so they try
And
and
they-
get
and
a
they
quarterback.
also
They
know
don't
they're-
need.
They also know
Is
they're
Jimmy
not gonna be good.
Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield? Well, Baker Mayfield would be an upgrade, but on a team that is probably not going to do well, and they know they're not going to do well.
Yeah.
That's the
Sure.
other thing. Baker Mayfield is not a borderline starter. He's a borderline top half starter. And so, what teams are going to be looking for a borderline top half starter? A team that could possibly win in the playoffs. All right,
So-
is
so
Atlanta
not-
going to win the playoffs? No. Are the Seahawks going to do anything? No. That's why everybody's like, "Well, Baker Mayfield sucks. Nobody wants him." Well, who would? All the teams that are any good already have a quarterback who is as at Baker Mayfield's level or above. So why would you, for one season, trade for a guy and win a bunch of games when you really want to suck so that you can get better picks for the next year and maybe get a quarterback from next year's draft?
If you think he's like a top half quarterback and you only have to give a 5th round pick and the team trading him to you is going to pay half his salary.
For 1 year, though.
So
So how much are you going to give up for?
Then
one
you have
year?
your top 15 guy.
For 1 year.
Like what?
For 1 year, when
So-
the rest of your team
And then
stinks,
as you build the rest of your team, I mean, I think a lot of
so
teams
you
would do that.
know you're going to win maybe 3 more games because you picked up this quarterback who's a top half quarterback. When you could just play the crap you got and get the top pick in the draft next year, because you know you're going to stink anyways.
Yep.
Getting Baker Mayfield is not going to help the Seahawks make the playoffs. It's not going to help the Falcons make the playoffs. It's probably not going to help the Panthers make the playoffs. At least the Panthers have some talent. They have a decent defense, and they got a pretty good skill position players if they can stay healthy. And they're in a division with a bunch of teams that stink because the Saints, we don't know what they're going to do because they don't have a quarterback
They
either.
can use a quarterback too.
And Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, like they're good. So that's your only competition in that whole division. So they might have a chance if they could get their hands on a quarterback who's sort of almost good.
So I think I'm
So,
in between.
he's not
Right?
good.
I'm higher on him than Mo is. I don't know if I would necessarily say top half, but I'd probably put him in the mid. Like
Well, I have Matt. What do I have? Matt? What did I have, Matt? Number 8? I think he's number 8 on the
Oh,
bench.
yeah.
Good gracious.
I don't know if
Okay.
you did. I thought you had him. at
Maybe
like
you're right. Maybe I had him lower than
16
that.
or something. I thought.
No,
Unless-
I had him higher than that.
Okay.
He's coming off an injury, so if you're a team that's really competing,
So it's Bakhtiari, and he's great.
well, there
Yeah,
you go.
Bakhtiari's great. That's
Is
all
he
everybody
actually
talks about.
back? Because I heard he's close to being back since week 8 last year.
Yeah, close
Yeah,
to being
he's
back.
real close.
Yeah.
He's real close.
Baker Mayfield had one season where he was decent. He's been terrible.
Mo,
He's
That's
been
a-
terrible.
That's an
Well, I think-
overstatement.
He
we talked
doesn't-
about
What we're
this.
getting at
Well, he
is-
doesn't pass the eye test at all for me. He's terrible.
He took a team that won 1 game in 2 seasons and took them to the playoffs and beat their division rival. I don't give a crap if his stats stinks. I don't care if he overthrows guys every now and again. There's something called the ability, like moxie, the ability to like win, the ability to lead a team into something. And as much as I couldn't stand Brett Favre because all his dumb picks and stupid crap he did, he had that ability. He had that ability to take a team and make them do more than they should have done. Now, did he also make them lose more games than they probably should have sometimes? Hell yeah. And that's why Baker Mayfield is a Brett Favre clone, not Derek Carr. Derek Carr is nothing like Brett Favre. Derek Carr is
A little
actually
like Brett
accurate. No, because Derek Carr usually just makes mistakes because it's like something dumb. Like I can remember against the Packers at one time where he ran the ball and he got to go through the pylon, then he fumbled it right before he got to the pylon. That's the kind of stuff that happens with Derek Carr. And then the ball goes out of the end zone and the Packers get the ball.
That's just Raider luck.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like Derek Carr is not stupid like Brett Favre dumb stuff. He's just dumb stuff happens to him.
It was a playoff game.
I don't know. Why are we talking so much about Baker Mayfield?
You guys
Okay,
keep
so-
going
so
on
I'm
it.
just, well, Mo hates him so much. I don't
I-
understand
I
why he
had
hates
one-
him.
Because he's not good.
I have one
here's the-
follow up.
He's not bad.
Hold on. Here's the
All
thing.
right, Rick, go.
It's very situational, right? So I think you got the salary issue that you have to negotiate with Cleveland to eat some of it. How much are you going to give up to get a guy for 1 year coming off of an injury unproven? Even if you trade for him, you have to re-sign him unless there'd be some sort of sign and trade, and Cleveland is never going to do that. So if you're a team that's even interested in him, unless he can help you win for sure right now and maybe turn the tide and make you a contender that's going to put you over the top, right? We were just running through how many teams need a good proven quarterback right now that's really going to benefit from it. A handful. How many of them are willing to trade for someone that's kind of unproven, right? I mean, how many of these teams are going to sit back and see, okay, what does he do this year? Let that contract expire. If he comes back, then make a play for him. Otherwise, you're giving up a bunch to get the 1 year test of like, well, is he coming back or not, right? Let some other team be the guinea pig and then make a play at him if he actually comes back and looks decent after the injury. Is he going to look like the year that he helped turn the Browns around, or is he going to look like the guy from down the stretch last year who's playing kind of hurt?
All right, so I have a follow up because this trade made me think of another trade. It brings me back to basketball. It made me think of a trade that the Bucks did.
Don't say it. Don't
I
say
have
it.
to say it because it made me think of the trade. Nick, you remember the trade well?
Malcolm Brogdon.
No. Nick, remember
Malcolm
when the
Brogdon
Bucks
wasn't
traded
He's got traded.
Ray Allen away
Oh, come on.
and said for Desmond Mason and
Cowboy.
Gary
And half of Gary Payton.
Payton for 30 games.
Cowboy in the glove.
No love for the glove.
Gary Payton to go along with to partner with Sam Cassell because that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
that was a genius move.
But for like 20 games or 30 games of Gary Payton, and then you were left over with Desmond Mason.
Isn't there some tall dude in the mix too?
No, it was a terrible, one of the worst trades of Bucks history. Just horrible.
Sad day.
But that's what they got. They got Gary Payton services for that long, and then see you later. Done. dumb.
And Desmond Mason was
Desmond Mason was terrible, and he
Useless.
certainly was not a replacement for Ray Allen.
couldn't hit the freaking broadside of a barn.
No, not at all.
Sad day is when the Timberwolves traded Ray Allen.
You know what?
on Marbury.
That's what I was gonna say.
That was the greatest
Mo,
trade ever.
how many times have the Timberwolves drafted
A really good player
players that should have been Finals MVP?
on draft day.
When Andrew Wiggins was tearing it up in this Finals, and I thought he was going to be MVP, I was thinking, I knew that when Boston won in 2008, Ray Allen should have been MVP. Everybody knows that. Not stupid Paul Pierce. Ray Allen was way better in that series. So the Timberwolves actually drafted.
They didn't draft Wiggins.
They didn't?
No,
I thought they did.
traded
he was drafted by
Cleveland
the
with him.
Browns.
It was part of
Oh,
the Kevin Love
My
trade
mistake. My
to
mistake.
acquire Wiggins.
But they did draft Rubio and Flynn ahead of.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that either. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there
the
you
Bucks
go.
drafted Curry.
Steph Curry's there. They have
Did
two
they?
picks back to
Did they
back,
trade him? On
5
the
and
draft?
6. The first one they take Ricky Rubio, right? Because everyone wanted a point guard, Ricky Rubio. Then Flynn.
He was cool.
They take Flynn over Steph Curry.
Another guard.
He's also a point guard. Because they were worried because they thought it might take it. It did. It took like 2 years before Rubio came over from Spain, but could have had Steph Curry.
For the good of the game, though, it's good that the T-Wolves took one for the team. Because you know the Minnesota curse. If they drafted Steph Curry,
He'd probably be terrible or something.
he would have like broken his leg in 7 places,
Yeah.
or like I don't know, decided he wanted to go play soccer instead or something. So
Or he would have been good, and then they would have had to trade him because they couldn't afford him or something.
what's happened to good players in Minnesota history? Look at Kirby. Right?
Oh man, bringing up Kirby,
He got glaucoma.
Yeah.
beanball to the face, man.
It's hard.
Derailed, one of the top careers in baseball.
It wasn't because of a beanball.
No.
He just woke up with glaucoma.
Did you get a beanball in the face one time?
No.
I thought
Well,
there
he
was some
may have,
suspicion
but that
it
wasn't
was
why.
linked to get hit in
Glaucoma.
the face, but I don't know if it was ever.
There's definitely something with Minnesota sports. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that they drafted Ray Allen. He should have been Finals MVP in 2008 if you didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. All right, that's all I got for
What was
tonight.
it, Garnett?
No, it was Paul Pierce.
Oh, Garnett was
Which
also
was-
a little Timberwolves time back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
That
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce was
He's terrible.
he's the false. He should have been called the false, not the true. All right, Mo, with your trophy on the way out. I gotta stop the feed.
Trophy.
Thanks for hanging in there for all our wild talk tonight.
A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, 2 of the top 5 running backs in the entire NFL on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh wait, Mom has a comment here. She says Sterling Sharp and Mike Holmgren are finalists for the Hall of Fame. What?
They're not. Well, they're in there. Yes, they're in the talks.
They better be. Sterling needs to
Did you know
get
that Tony
in.
Baselli only played 7 seasons or something like that? Okay, that's Sterling Sharp needs to be in. If Tony Baselli's in, it's time.
Viking Moe, is Sterling Sharp a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, you bet your buddy is.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep, Sterling.
Nicko,
I say yes.
he gets your vote.
Mike Holmgren, is he a Hall of Famer? This is my opinion. If Bill Cowher is, Mike Holmgren is. Period. Bill Cowher is.
Super Bowl wins.
Mike
count for so
Holmgren.
much.
Mike Holmgren took 2 different teams to the Super Bowl. Should have had 2 Super Bowl wins. Got screwed by the refs
Should have had 3.
against the stupid Steelers.
Should have had 2 Packers and 1 Seahawks. You know that.
Ouch. That also
97, they
hurts.
should have won 2.
I think Holmgren.
You're bringing up a lot of
should
sad
be
memories.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Hurts, man.
Sorry, but it's,
Holmgren deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And Matt Hasselbeck deserves to have a Super Bowl win, but he got screwed by the stupid refs. Hasselbeck. Now that is greatest quarterback in the history of all time. Number 1, Matt Hasselbeck.
Tell me why I beg you to come, Mr. Home.